What's going on, guys? Finals Way. Today we finally got the Seattle Seahawks 2021-2022 schedule. First things first, looking at the schedule, I think it's a pretty decent schedule, but as you can look at the first half of the season, it's pretty rough. We have a lot of away games, but as most of you guys know, last year we were road warriors, and then the year before that, road warriors. So I still feel like we can be some road warriors this year, to say the least. But like what I mentioned earlier today, week 1 against the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts, they have a great defense, but their offense is not really that star-powered. They do have Jonathan Taylor, but I don't really think they'll have the weapons to, basically keep up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. If you guys checked out my week 1 prediction, I said we would win that game 24-14, and I'm sticking with that. Carson Wentz has yet to beat the Seahawks, and I don't think a change of scenery will help either. Week 2, we finally get our first home game against the Tennessee Titans. This game is probably going to be a wild one, to say the least. Derrick Henry might run all over us, or he just might not at all. In a way, I still feel like we're going to win this game because the Titans, they lost a lot of pieces on defense, which is Adoree Jackson and Desmond King, I believe. I'm not so sure on that, but they lost a lot of pieces this year on defense. And plus, they lost Jonnu Smith on offense. And Corey Davis. So they lost a lot of key pieces. So I feel like we can win. We will win this game 27-17 and move to 2-0 on the season. And then we have the Minnesota Vikings. We're traveling up to Minnesota, or not up to Minnesota, but we're traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings and Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is yet to beat the Seattle Seahawks. I don't think that will change either, even though it is an away game. I feel like we will beat the Vikings pretty good, I would say. 31-28. We normally have high scoring games when we play the Vikings, so that won't change. But yeah, 31-28. Move to 3-0. And in this game is interesting. The 49ers at San Francisco. Honestly, I don't know what team the 49ers will be. If they're anywhere near like they were last year, then we'll definitely win this game. But I mean, they lost a lot of key pieces, and I don't know if Nick Bosa will be able to produce like how he has coming off an ACL injury. They lost Richard Sherman. He might re-sign, not really sure. And then they have Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, and they lost Emmanuel Sanders. Yes, they have George Kittle and Deebo Samuel, but I don't really think they'll be able to keep up with the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks will win this game. I would say 21-17. That seems a pretty good score. But the Niners, this could be a whoever wants it more game. But I feel like the Seahawks will win it 4-0 on the season. And this game was interesting, to say the least. Thursday Night Football against the Rams. This is a home game. Honestly, in my predictions, I would have us winning. I would honestly have us splitting with the Rams, winning at home and then winning on the road. Because that's what happened last year, even though they did beat us in the playoffs. But in the regular season, they beat us at home. Or no, in the regular season, we beat them at home, and then they beat us on the road. So I have us beating them at home. And also, I haven't really fell into the Matthew Stafford hype yet. That's just me. So I feel like we will win this game. It will be a close game, to say the least. I will say 23-20, possible overtime. Then week 6, Sunday Night Football against the Steelers. I think this is a given win. The Steelers, even though they have a great defense, Ben Roethlisberger is that age is catching up with them, and they lost a few pieces this year. Decent amount of pieces. Andrew Villanueva, how do you say his name, and then James Conner. I feel like we will win this game 26-21. Move to 6-0 on the young season. And then we have the Saints on Monday Night Football without Drew Brees. This should be a definite win. Russ always turns it up on Sunday night, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football. He always goes crazy. I feel like we will win this game 37-24 against the Saints to move to 7-0. You guys are like, what are you saying? 7-0 so far? Hey, man, I could be completely wrong, but this is just my opinion on how I see it. Then we have Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence going up to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Russell Wilson versus Trevor Lawrence. I don't think Trevor Lawrence will get the upper hand. And the Seahawks will move to 8-0 at the bye. Score predictions, I will say 31-21. And then, so this is different too. We travel to Green Bay week 10 after the bye. This could be interesting, to say the least. If Aaron Rodgers is there, this is where our first loss will happen. against the Green Bay Packers and move to 8-1. Excuse me, 8-1 on the season. I honestly feel like this could be the battle of undefeated teams, the two last undefeated teams in the league, 8-0 versus 8-0. And I feel like Aaron Rodgers and the Packers will get the upper hand. Russ has yet to beat Green Bay at Lambeau, so this is where we get our first loss. And then we travel back down to play, or back home to play the Cardinals. Normally when we lose another one. So I will say we lose, or actually, since it's a home game, I will say we win against the Cardinals, actually. I take that back. So we'll move to 9-1, but I will say we lose to the Washington football team on the road and move to 9-2 on the season. Now you guys are probably thinking, what the heck? We will not lose to the football team. We almost lost to the football team last year. They're actually a pretty good team, and they've only gotten better. And they actually have a legitimate quarterback. Fitzmagic is pretty scary. But once again, this game can go either way. But 9-2 on the season, and then we play the Niners on Sunday Night Football. This should be a great game. It's always great when we play the Niners on prime time. I feel like we will win this game as well. As like what I said, I really don't know what the Niners are like. I mean, yeah, they got all their pieces back, but they've also lost a lot of pieces, and still they got Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. And honestly, Trey Lance, I feel like they should have taken Justin Fields. That's just me though. So yeah, what is it? 10-2. I feel like we'll beat the Niners pretty well on Sunday Night Football. Yeah, and then we go down to Houston to take on Houston Texans. They're probably not gonna have Deshaun Watson because of all what's going on. Hope everything gets solved and figured out with that. But I feel like we will blow out the Houston Texans and move to 11-2 on the season. And then we have to travel to the Rams. This is where we lose once again. We lose to Los Angeles Rams. This is probably where we get blown out by the Rams or something wild. And we move to 11-3. Also, got to keep in mind, too, there is 17 games now instead of 16. So, yeah. And then we play Chicago at home. We bounce back against Chicago. I would say we probably win like 31-20. I don't even know. Well, they'll have Justin Fields. So Justin Fields comes up to Seattle. Ain't no way I think he can beat the Seahawks. So yeah, 12-3, and then we have Jared Goff coming back up to take on the Seattle Seahawks, but this time for Detroit. Detroit, you know, they got a good team, but I mean it's the Lions. So I don't see us losing this game. It could be a possibility, but we moved to 13-3. And then we have to finish it out against the Arizona Cardinals on the road for Week 18 matchup, which just sounds weird. But once again, though, I feel like we will be a lot better this year offensively and defensively than that first time we played against the Cardinals when we lost to them last year. It will be probably a crazy game, a lot of points scored, but I feel like we're going to learn from our mistakes, you know, as we played them the last two times, because I know we lost to them when we were undefeated last year, and then we beat them at home during a primetime game. So I feel like we will beat the Cardinals and have a 14-3 record on the season, which is weird saying. I haven't looked at other team schedules, but I really do feel like the Packers and the Rams will probably be right there with us when it comes to the race for the NFC West. I wish we played the Rams last game of the season, but you know, it's whatever. Yeah, so 14-3 on the season. I honestly can go between 12-5, 13-4, and 14-3. Weird saying that, but that's just how I feel about it. It's not a easy schedule, but it's decent. It just depends on how these other teams play this year. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this prediction video. Pretty long, went to a deep dive, and peace out.